Hello, my name is Maas, and I'm the Rehab Manager at Home Care Medical. And we're here to show you how to properly measure a wheelchair and how to measure your clients so that they can obtain the proper size wheelchair. So real quick, one thing that you'll need is you will need a tape measure. I prefer the rigid type because they're easier for me to get accurate measurements, or you can have the traditional fabric tape, but I will show you a couple of things not to do when you are measuring somebody with one of these types of tapes. So the first thing that I want to do is I just kind of want to show you how to properly measure a wheelchair. Usually wheelchairs will come in 2-inch increments, and it will be either 16, 18, or 20, and larger if you have a larger size wheelchair. So one of the things that we get a lot is that therapists say the chair that they're in is working fine for them, so they just measure the chair and give us the measurements. So the first thing is the seat width. Seat width is always the first measurement when you're talking about a wheelchair. And when you look at seat width, you want to measure from outside seat frame to outside seat frame. So if you do outside seat frame, you can see that this chair is 16 inches wide. The seat depth, which is front to back, is again, you want to measure from the back of the back cane to the front of the seat upholstery, running along the seat frame. So when we do that, the seat depth is 18 inches. Another thing that's very important is if somebody is going to be using their feet to propel the wheelchair, is we need a seat to floor height. And the way that you measure the seat to floor height is you never go to the middle of the frame or middle of the sling. You want to go to the outside of the seat frame. From the floor to the top of the seat cushion, you can see that this one is at 18 inches. Next, I would like to have Colleen Zinda, our Director of Sales, and I'm going to use her for this, how to measure a patient. So you want to make sure that your patient is always seated on a solid surface, so it can either be on a mat table or in a wheelchair. So first thing that we want to do is we're going to measure the hip width. If they are sitting in a chair and you're able to move the arms out of the way, it's easier to do that. So I'm going to show you what the fabric tape measure, what not to do. You never want to wrap the tape measure around the client because that's going to give you a false measurement, and it's actually going to make the chair a little bit wider. So you never want to wrap. So if we start at the side, you don't want to wrap because that is probably going to add 2 inches onto your seat width. So if you're using a fabric tape, you want to keep it straight and kind of eye up from the outside of the hip to the outside of the hip. And Colleen here measures 15 and a half. For the seat depth, and you want to kind of see how they're seated, make sure that they're comfortable in their normal seating position, and you want to measure to the back right before they're touching to right behind the knee. So right now Colleen measures 19 inches. If Colleen is going to be using her feet to propel the chair, the next important is her lower leg length. So Colleen has some heels on, so usually you do want to use it with whatever type of shoe that they're going to be using. So you're going to measure the bottom of the heel to right where the knee goes at a 90-degree angle. So she measures 20 inches. So that is the seat height where she can have to properly propel herself in the chair. You always want to make sure that you accommodate for cushion. In case you're going to have a specialized cushion on there, it'll always add some height onto your chair. So that's always the best measurement to give us as an overall height. We thank you for watching and have a good day.